Hello friends and welcome. In this video we are going to develop the MATLAB code for Thomas algorithm method which is used to solve the tridiagonal system of equations. So now let's consider this numerical. So the given four equations are there and these equations we can write in this form. That is there is no x3 and x4 variable in equation number 1. So we are writing it as a 0. Then same for the second equation. X4 is absent, so we are writing the coefficient as a 0. Same for equation number 3, x1 coefficient as a 0, and equation number 4, x1 and x2 coefficient as a 0. So when we are writing it in the matrix form, we get three diagonal elements which are non-zero and all other elements as a 0. To convert this equation into upper triangular form, we are applying that equation 2 is equal to equation 2 minus factor into equation 1. So this form we have to apply and same will be applied to the right hand side matrix also. And this form is converted your equation 2 and onward equations only for the pivot element. Other elements are not going to change, only the main diagonal element will be going to change. So now let's write the MATLAB code. So let's open the MATLAB. So this is the MATLAB code used for Thomas algorithm method for solving the tridiagonal matrices. So using this comments percentage symbol, you can able to add the comments. So I am commented the name of the program and programmer name. You may add your class, division and roll number also. Then the next three are the magical words. So three magical words are used: CLC, clear all and close all. We are taking the input of the matrices from the user. So for that purpose, the input syntax is used and the variables are used as A and B. So we are taking the A matrix as an input, that is the left hand side matrix, or we can say it as a coefficient matrix, and then B as the right hand side matrix or the constant matrix. So after taking the input, we are assigning the length of B matrix to variable n. So here n is the variable which is assigned the length of the B matrix, and this length is nothing but the MATLAB syntax which is used to specify the maximum array dimensions of the matrix B. Then as we need to convert the given matrices into upper triangular form, and the first row will be remain as it is and then the changes will be occur in the subsequent rows. So that's why we are using the for loop which is starting from 2 to n numbers. So the changes only occur from row number 2 to nth row and there will be no change in first row. So that's why we are using I is equal to 2 to n. Then as I already explained that we have to make the changes as the equation 2 minus factor into equation 1. So it will be written here when our I is equal to 2. So a I comma I, that means a2 comma 2 is equal to a2 comma 2. So this is the equation 2 minus this is the factor. So the factor is nothing but equation 2 element divided by equation 1 element, that is a2 comma 1 divided by a1 comma 1. So this is nothing but the factor. You may assign this factor to the separate variable or you can able to directly write in the same line, and then multiplied by equation 1, that is a1 comma 1. So in this way you can make the changes in the second row, and same you have to make the changes to the right hand side matrix. So for that purpose we have used b of I is equal to b of I minus, again this is the factor, into b of I minus 1, that is b2 minus factor into b1. So in this way this loop will be written. Then again the increment will be takes place in ith row, that is it will be increment by value 1. So I becomes 3. Then the changes will be occur to the third row as well as for the right hand side third element. Then again I becomes 4 and fourth row will be going to change as well as the right hand side matrix of the B. So in this way, as our n value is 4, so the loop will be end and it is go for the next line. So in this way, the changes will be occur to the main diagonal elements only, because when I is equal to 2, a2 comma 2, Then when I is equal to 3, A3 comma 3, and when I is equal to 4, A4 comma 4. So in this way, the changes will be occur to the main diagonal elements only. Then we need to apply the backward substitution. So before applying the backward substitution, again we have to make the initialization. So all values of x is making as a zeros, and its size will be n comma 1. So for this case, our n size will be 4. So we are making x value as a zeros for 4 rows and 1 column. And then apply the backward substitution. So in backward substitution, again we are going from end to start. So that's why the loop is used for I is equal to n to -1 up to 1. And then the x of I value will be assigned. So x of I will be b of I minus a of I comma I plus 1 to n into x of I plus 1 to n whole divided by ai comma I. So when our I value is n, that is 4, then we will get x4 as a b4 divided by a4 comma 4. So this element will be not taking in part, because here it will be used as I plus 1 to n. And so initially our I value is a 4. So 4 plus 1 will be get as a 5. And our n value is again starting from the 4. So this part will be not takes place. So you directly get x4 is equal to b4 divided by a4 4. Then again it will print the value of x4. Then increment in I is carried out using the -1. So I becomes 3. Then we are calculating the x3 value. And in this way, you can able to get all the values of x. So in printf syntax, we are using the /n to print it on the new line. The value of x %d is used to print the integer. So at %d value, the first variable will be get printed, that is I. So when I value is 4, then it will be print x4. When I value is 3, it will print x3 and so on. Then equal to %f. So %f is used for the floating point value, and at this place the x of I value will be get printed. Whatever the value will be get for this variable will be get printed on your output screen. So in this way you can able to write the MATLAB program. So let's now run this program to get the output. So to run this program, we need to click on this editor icon, and there is a run option. So you have to click on this run icon. If we have saved the program previously, then it is not asked to save it again. But if you not save the program previously, then it asks you to save the file. So while saving, again remember, don't give any number to the file. Use always first word as a letter. Then you can use number or give any program name. Again, second thing you need to remember, don't give any spaces between the characters. Okay, so I am used here for saving the file name P for program, then underscore and the name of the method, that is a Thomas. So as I have already saved this file, so I need to click on this command window. So it is asked me the enter matrix. So whatever the input syntax you have to use, it will be asked. Now while entering the matrix, always use square bracket. So in square bracket, you have to define the matrix. So what are the matrices? We are considering the numerical which we already solved. So consider this numerical. So these values we have to put. So this is the left hand side matrix which we input as a. Okay, and whatever the values to the right hand side of equal to will be considered as a B matrix. So remember these values we are going to put. So first row will be 5 minus 1 0 0. Second row will be minus 1 5 minus 1 0. Third row is 0 minus 1 5 minus 1, and fourth row is 0 0 minus 1 and 5. So these are the elements for the A matrix. So let's input these matrices in MATLAB. So here we have to write the first row element, that is 5. Then you can separate the element by comma or space. I am going to use the comma. So 5 comma minus 1 comma 0 comma 0. So these are the elements for the first row. After completing the first row, you have to use the semicolon. Okay, because the rows are separated by semicolon. Then second row elements are -1, comma 5, comma -1, comma 0. So these are the second row elements. After completing the second row, again use semicolon and enter the third row elements. So third row elements are 0, then -1, 5, and -1. So these four third row element, that is 4 elements are entered. Then give the semicolon and last row 0, 0, -1, and 5. So in this way you can enter all the rows separated by semicolons, and the elements in the row can be separated by comma or space. After the last row, no need to give the semicolon, you can directly give the enter. So when you hit the enter key, it asks you the enter the second matrix. So B matrix is nothing but the right hand side matrix. So again we are going to use this square bracket to define the matrices, and the B matrix values are, so these right hand side values we have to put as a B matrix, that is 5.5, 5, 11.5 and 16.5. So this is used in the separate equation. So you will be get as a number of rows as a 4 and number of columns as a 1. So while inputting the B matrix, remember that after each element you have to use the semicolon. If you're not using the semicolon, then you will be get error on your screen. So let's define the B matrix. So for B matrix, the first value is 5.5. Then first row is complete, so use semicolon. Second value is 5. Again use semicolon. 11.5. Use semicolon, and 16.5. So in this way you can define the B matrix. And when you hit the enter key, you will be get directly the result. So the values of all x will be printed on your screen, and it will be printed on the new line because we are using the /n command to print it on new line. And as our I value starting from n, so the last value will be printed first, then second last value, then x2 value, and then the first value. So in this way you will be get the result. Now we need to verify these answers using the solver. So the same solver syntax we have to use, and for the solver syntax, first we need to define the A matrix and B matrix. So now let me use the percentage symbol and write the solver. Okay, so for solver we have to define the A matrix. So I'm just copying the A matrix here and pasting. So using Control C and Control V, you can copy and paste and make the changes here. Don't use A colon. We have to assign this matrix to variable A. So always use A is equal. Okay. So A is equal to, it will be defined. If you use semicolon to the right hand side, then the matrix will be not shown on your screen. And if you not use the semicolon, the matrix will be printed on your screen. So if I not use the semicolon and hit the enter key, the A matrix you can see will be printed on your screen. Okay. Then again we have to define the B matrix. So again let's copy this B matrix and paste here. Again make the changes. B is equal to, and again hitting the enter key. So you can see the B matrix will be get printed. So this is the A matrix and B matrix. And to use solver, we have to use the syntax x is equal to, so means whatever the answer you will be get, it will be assigned to variable x. So x is equal to, the solver syntax is inverse, that is inv in bracket A into bracket complete into B. So inverse of A matrix into B matrix. And again when you hit the enter key, you will be get the results. So the first value is 1.5, second 2, third value 3.5, and last value is a 4. And you can verify these also, the same values will be get. Okay, so in this way you can able to get the solution of the Thomas algorithm method by using this program. If you are having any queries or questions, please ask. Thank you for watching. Have a nice day.